Welcome back to the Whiskey and Wisdom podcast, everybody. This is 3.0. As you can tell, we're in a new location, just mixing it up a little bit. Some people got upgrades in life. Some people get better studios. I don't think this is really a better studio. I just think it's a different studio.
The only reason why it's better is because it's in my office.
I think it's a better studio, hands down. This feels legit. Just as a guest looking out, you're elevated, you're looking out, it's a beautiful day, plenty of natural light. Trust me, This is a win.
It's been a goal for years to kind of just like get a set studio space that's different, get some green in here. If you guys know, you know.
Chris loves his green.
Set it up.
Yeah.
Send it.
Chris also likes it because I do all of the work on a Friday before the Sunday we come in here. So he gets to sit down, we press play, and we go.
Yeah.
But the reason why we have Christian in here today is because we were using his studio for the last few months, actually probably close to a year, actually. And I want to say thank you so much for letting us come into your space and use it. We've loved using that spot. We've had so many compliments of how it looks and the paintings and just the feel in there too. So I do greatly appreciate that. I know all of our guests do. And so I wanted to publicly thank you for everything that you've helped us with and done in the background there. And also, you've grown a lot and have done a lot of things since the last time we brought you on the podcast. And just wanted to see what you have going on because it's inspiring watching your journey as well, too.
Dude.
So introduce yourself again for anyone who hasn't watched. And if you haven't watched, go back and watch the first one.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm very grateful to be back. So I'll start off with this is definitely an upgrade because even though, thanks for the kudos about my studio was like slapped together quickly. For those of you who don't know, it doesn't have any windows, and so that's why this is right there, right out of the gate. It's a win. But I'm Christian Cardamone, kind of like a Wilmington local. Moved here in '96 from New York, and went to high school, went to college. I've been a small business owner, operator, kind of entrepreneur, and I've been mainly real estate's been my game for the last 22 years. Done some development, some construction, some rentals, some short-term, long-term, some flipping, like a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stoked to be here, man. I'm very blessed, and I love Wilmington. I've got nothing but good things to say about it. And I just love being a part of things like this. So, yeah, I mean, I've been following your journey, and I was so stoked when I offered you guys to come to my studio and you said yes, because like we were talking offline selfishly, I wanted to be around people that were doing big things with their podcast. As someone who started a podcast last year, kind of to try and force myself to get uncomfortable, it's a lot harder than it looks. Mm-hmm. So I have massive respect for you guys, like game respect game. You guys are the real thing. And I think that that's just so cool to have a local guys like you who are doing big things in the media space. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Before we get too far into it, Chris was doing research on our whiskey today. So let's learn about that and take our first sip.
Is it really whiskey though?
So all Scotch is whiskey, but not all whiskey is Scotch. Same thing with bourbon.
Yeah. So I asked that question because we are drinking Glen Ick. I probably said it wrong because I am not Scotch or Scottish descent, but super beautiful. This is a 21-year-old Grand Reserva. I got to say, out of all of the websites I look at, this is probably like top 2 and not number 2 websites because like I'm looking at it and it's like just a beautiful swipe through, so many setups. So oddly enough, this Scotch was raised in Scotland and quote unquote roused by the Caribbean because it is a 21-year Glenfiddich, which I didn't know they did, but it does most of its life in a classic like Scottish setup. And then they finish it in Caribbean reserved or Reserva rum cask to add some ginger and fig notes to it. Let's see their website. There's so much going on. Stop.
I definitely got a little bit of the ginger in there. I'm glad it was rested in rum casks because I'm really not a Scotch fan. I've tried a lot of different Scotches. I don't care who you are, people out there that are Scotch people. It's not because I haven't tried the right one. I've tried a lot. I don't like it. Stop trying to force me to like it. This one, since it was rested in rum cask, I can tolerate it. I
Yeah.
don't like Scotch. I'm sorry.
So you'll notice it has a nice dark golden color. On the nose, you should smell a little bit of vanilla, some floral, hints of your classic rum stuff. So like banana, figs, and then you get some of that Scotch, which is going to be some toffee, some leather and oak. And then your tasting note should be a little bit peppery. I mean, it's a Scotch. It's usually peppery. And then some smoke, oak, lime, and ginger and spices. And then it's supposed to be a little bit of a dry, spicier flavor.
This is the cornucopia juice, pretty much.
Mm.
This is really good. This doesn't taste like Scotch almost at all.
Yeah.
Like most Scotch has a very defined like Band-Aid flavor.
Right.
That should be one of the
Yeah.
tasting notes.
Yeah.
This tastes like just a really rich bourbon or whiskey. I don't know if I am refined enough to tell the difference between a bourbon and a whiskey, but it tastes like that kind of spirit.
Ooh.
Cheers. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely. So, like on the very back end, you can taste the classic like peatiness,
Right.
but it's very, very subtle compared to a lot of the other stuff that we've drank.
This is probably one of my top favorite Scotches, even though it still does not hit the top 10 of overall whiskeys I've tried.
Yeah, where are
But
you
it's-
guys with rating systems now that you guys have had as many episodes as you have?
So, I think we're asking the audience. We're trying to figure out: do we do a revamp or a revisit of like our top 20 that we've done, or do we do a seasonal showcase and show? Because like I love to be like, so this is usually a summer or a winter, springtime whiskey. So we're trying to figure that out. We have tried so many,
Yeah.
like, and it hurts my brain to think like how many we've tried.
There's been multiple times I'm like, I know I've had that, but I need to try it again to remember what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say we're well over 150 different whiskeys for
It's probably
Whiskeys,
close to
bourbons.
300.
well,
It would be
probably.
cool if you guys showcase like a North Carolina one.
Mhm.
You know, you could maybe break it down like regionally if you had to, because yeah, there's so many different ones, man, and
Yes.
they're just and then once they throw like a wrench in it, like we're gonna age it in a rum barrel or something, or like a port like wine barrel or something. It's like a hard left turn. So then you can't even compare that with something
Right.
that's like more traditional.
Correct.
So it's a wide like gamut of flavor, I think. So
I
it's
will
tough.
say there's definitely, like, obviously Scotch bourbon whiskey is different, but when you do a finished, anything finished,
Mhm.
it's a totally different category.
Mhm.
Like, it should be rated completely different than everything else because of the way things get finished.
So Tyler, when you did the end of days experience,
Mhm.
what role did you play in the making the whiskey, or did you guys just barrel it and then see and bottle it?
Yeah, so for us, that's actually, we'll probably do another episode just talking about it and everything too. I may or may not open it, we'll see. But it was an investment barrel. So there was a gentleman who paid for the barrel, rested it for 3.5 years. And then the experience I got, along with like a few other people, is you got to go in and bottle the whiskey. You put the label on it, you put the extra sticker on it, and we put the sealant on top of it and all of the fancy end of day stuff that you get along with it.
Mm.
So it was cool just to like go in there, like, oh, how do you actually fill a bottle of whiskey, and like, what's the process like? So it was neat just kind of being behind the scenes a little
Yeah,
bit.
that facility, kudos to those guys, man. That place is, I love that that's in our backyard too,
Mhm.
Right.
because that facility is so cool to go and see how they do it, and that's definitely like an artisan operation. But
Mhm.
they're a tremendous brand. I mean, they're very big too. So
Oh yeah,
it's
and
really
their
cool.
gin specifically, I've been getting into gin lately.
Mhm.
One of my favorite gins.
Yeah.
That's another. We could do like every month, we could drop like a single episode of like rating things, and we could still do like a solid
Oh yeah,
6 months.
been doing it for a long time.
Mhm.
And for those who don't know, End of Days is based here in Wilmington in the Cargo District. It's one of the first businesses over there.
They
It was
really
close, yeah.
Yeah. And they're still there, still doing things. They now have like a
Growing.
little side hustle where they got like a pop-up kitchen where like different places, like different restaurants come
Concept
in
kitchen, yeah.
there to, which has been pretty awesome to check out. And then they're dropping these like great new flavors on a regular basis. I haven't gone down. did like a step into the gin section, and then I was like, I'm okay.
I burned out my palate on whiskey a year ago.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I was just like tired of anything that looked brown. So I started going down the
Ouch.
gin.
Dude, I'm with you.
Chris.
I took a You can't do that when you have
Liquid.
whiskey and wisdom as part of your identity
Yes.
here.
Exactly.
I switched over to tequila maybe like a year
Yes.
ago too, because
Oh, yeah.
I played in a band and we always like Jameson was like our calling card for years,
Right.
and it's like love it, love it, love it. And then after a while, I've been drinking tequila and trying to find like the purest, cleanest, in my mind, the healthiest, to
Yeah.
also kind of make me feel like I'm trying to do my body a service, even though it's
Still
it's
alcohol.
poison,
Right. Yeah.
Then when I have something like this, it's like, this is full.
Have you had Ocho yet?
Ocho is my go-to.
That's mine.
Okay.
too.
Is that yours
yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Dude, that stuff is amazing, right?
So good, and it's probably the cleanest that I found anyway.
Okay, that makes me feel great because I was told that, and I did like enough research to be okay with it.
Mhm.
And then I was doing kind of taste tests along Casamigos I like, and
Oh,
Casamigos
yeah.
made like a Cristalino
Yep.
version too. And I thought that was really good, but Ocho, man,
Mhm.
that's the stuff.
This is the joys of like sitting at a bar instead of like showing up with your friends all the time and stepping away. Like if you take time to like just go and learn from a bartender, asking them questions at a spot where these people are knowledgeable, it's amazing. Because literally I would say last night we were sitting at the Ibis and I was asking these questions because like I love Ibis. Shout out Matt Ray, he'll be on later. But their bartenders are so knowledgeable. So when I asked, I was like, so I need a whiskey. My friend loves Espolon, but Espolon to me was like 15 years ago. Like that was the expensive tequila. What is a better alternative or a cleaner alternative? And he was like, so try out Altos, Altos. Like it's a square with like a bright
I've
blue.
seen it. Okay.
Mhm.
And he's like, that is a good like entry level, no to limited preservatives. So it's still going to be better for you.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that makes sense because that's what I got when we went on our honeymoon. They were like, you can get a bottle. And I'm like, bet. And then he said the same thing. Like Ocho is a great, like it's not a inexpensive bottle because it's like 60, 70 bucks. But it's still an amazing bottle for like your, let's just have a tequila soda, something that you can get some good flavor and you're not going to feel like shit the next day.
Right.
So how did you shift from whiskey to tequila? Why did you not do like gin? I know why you didn't do vodka, but like, or beer or something.
Well, over the last maybe 24 months, I've been working to just try and improve my wellness overall. Just because as I'm getting older, you have to like pay more attention to that because it just becomes, if you don't make it a priority now, it's a lot closer. It's later than you think, I guess is what I would say. So you got to just be mindful of that stuff. So just little decisions and just trying to optimize my life in different ways. And frankly, I just kind of got tired of certain things. I thought, well, let me try something new. But I got a bottle of it for my birthday last year.
Okay.
As a gift. And I was like, I'll try it. And I had it and it was great. And then a buddy of mine, Steve, told me he was drinking it. And then he told me, he like gave me like the pitch on it. He's like, this is like the best tequila. It's like the purest, cleanest, and gave me he went down the rabbit hole on how it's made and stuff. And I was like, all right, well, let's go this route for a little while. So
Yeah.
It's not like I'm home drinking it by the gallon, but
Yes.
if I was, that'd be what I would be drinking by the gallon. So good stuff.
So another thing that happened in your life, and we'll get into more business stuff too. You also had a baby.
My wife had a baby.
Well, yes.
Yes.
You played a small
I
role.
participated. Yeah, it was awesome.
At least partially.
Yeah, baby Luca Franco Cardamone got here 3 months ago, and dude, he's amazing. We just finished watching the F1 race, Singapore race that happened this morning.
Yeah.
So he's home. He's got his little Ferrari onesie on,
That's awesome.
and he was great. He was awake and kicking and wiggling the whole time, and he's healthy as can be. Man, we're so blessed. And his sister is now 3.5 years old, and she's been. It's quite a change when another baby's introduced in the equation,
Right.
But it's been so awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
And hats off to my wife because she's doing the heavy lifting. But it's been the last 6 months have been crazy. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you're still rocking with the bands.
still playing with the band. We played 2 weeks ago up at 7 Mile Post. Had a good show, and we're playing again at Halloween. Up there, 7 Mile Post. We do that like every year, big Halloween show.
Yeah.
And then we'll play. We do like a bar show, like a club show once a year. We do it at Reggie's.
Oh,
So
okay.
that'll be in December, and that's like a throwback to the days we used to play at the Whiskey downtown years ago. It
Yeah.
was like the disgusting dive bar that we loved. And so that's not that Reggie's is a disgusting dive bar, but it's like it's like one of the last few like rock clubs we have in town.
Right.
So we're stoked to play there and get loud and play some grunge music, and that'll be it for the year.
So the office that we're in, Beacon Wealth Management. So myself and then Jody Burke and Eric Kohlberg as well. But you know Jody,
Oh, yeah.
and he loves coming out and supporting you guys. And every time you guys are out, he lets me know after he goes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jerk, why didn't you invite me? But
Jody's awesome, man. Shout out to Jody. He's one of the greatest dudes, man, and I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's always been a big live music guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. Our town needs that. That's what makes our town special. Is a lot of people. We have a lot of great music here, a lot of great talent, man, and it gets supported, and that's really important.
So, because you're a live music guy, I got to ask the question, what do you think about these sound ordinances? And I ask that because I go to a lot of bars that, and by a lot, I mean like 3, that are in positions where it's like, hey, 10 o'clock, cut the music. Or like even downtown, I feel like it starts midnight. And yes, I'm old. Am I going to be out past 11? Probably not. But I was
Those
curious
young
of your
upper
position
standards.
as like an artist and like someone who plays.
Man, I think it's one of those things where when you're younger and you're out and you're playing, it's like, well, we're in a bar. We can be loud. That's what that environment is for. But from a different perspective, you hear situations where there's like a bar with like condos above it. And so it's a tough call. I mean, there's certain districts that are designed in the city for a reason, Central Business District being one of them, where then if you buy a piece of real estate in that zoning district, it comes with the territory. And so I think you have to have areas that are designated for that, which we do. So we got to have it, man. Rock and roll. That's just the bottom line. In the appropriate places during the appropriate times. In our like live music window downtown, everything has to stop at 2 o'clock anyway. So that's pretty much it. During the week, not a lot of music goes. I don't go downtown as much as I used to anymore, so I don't know. But most of the time, it's just 3 or 4 nights a week, and I would just say it comes with the territory. So you got to know what buyer beware. Do your homework before you buy a piece of property that's in the Central Business District, and then it'll be fine.
Wait, where's the
And that-
Central Business District?
Like downtown, it's an overlay, kind of like a 3rd Street to the river.
Okay.
And then it goes down to maybe Orange on the south side and all the way down to like Cape Fear on the north side. So those are areas where the zoning is very favorable to business. And so, for example, they're not working to preserve green spaces. Like there's 0 lot lines if you're building. You can build. That's why buildings are right next to each other.
Okay.
The height restrictions are very flexible there. They're usually like 42 to 44 feet there. So you can go. That's why you see these condensed areas of density with regard to that. And so that's because they want to invite business. So they have to have that down there. And they have to have people that are allowed to turn the music up because that's where people want to go and do commerce. So.
Well, thank you so much. That was an amazing segue because if you didn't listen to the first episode, Christian's also in the real estate game. So he is the person who would know the most about this anyway, because that's your job.
Yeah, I love it. I live for it. I'm in the throes of an interesting process with the city now. I'm working to develop a small like mid-rise building. And so the technical review committee is a process I've been through a couple times, but this has been a bit of a challenge for me with the city just because it's an small infill lot. And so the biggest thing we're having now to deal with is like tree mitigation. Something you never, it kind of became a big topic of conversation maybe like a month or 2 ago when they were developing that thing on Wrightsville Ave, that complex there, and they cut down a bunch of big trees.
Yeah.
Everybody freaked out,
Yeah.
So it's definitely, it's a real thing, but the city and their ordinances and their zonings, the code is written in a way and you have to abide by it. And so it's a delicate dance.
Yeah,
So I'm learning as I go.
And I understand. So like in general, you want to add more businesses, more people into an area. But I also see the other side of like, there's trees that have been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have to destroy all of them. We should be able to like give it some space or at least plant something that can fill into that space. And I feel like a lot of places just go like knock it down and don't plant anything.
Yeah. It has to be done responsibly because you have to weigh, and I think this is what I'm dealing with now at the city is they have an ordinance that's written that speaks to how to mitigate trees if you're going to cut them down. What that means is like, if you're going to cut one down, you have to pay a certain dollar amount based on the diameter of the tree, and certain species are protected and they require more And then you also have this like critical root mass in the ground, so you can't put anything in the buildable footprint within those to protect the tree. So there's a fine line between owning land, being able to develop it, and being subservient to like zoning, but then also being subservient to like the tree. Like the tree is going to win. So it's like,
Right.
I guess I can't just develop this because my little piece of land, for example, this is the ironic thing, is a single family home. If I was going to put a single family home there, I can cut all the trees down, don't have to pay $1. Just, I can get my construction plans permitted, approved, and I can cut down all the trees. The trees that I have to cut down for the same thing because it's a commercial building, it's going to cost me like 60 grand. So I'm thinking, well, the city wants more housing. The city is an infill lot.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't any protected species. And so as a developer, it's making me want to not develop to the highest and best use of the land, which doesn't serve the city. So the way that ordinance is written, it's more appropriate if you had an acre or 2 or 3 acres out here with beautiful live oaks and something to preserve. But these are not a protected species of tree. And so it's one of the frustrating things I'm dealing with this right now. And so just comes to the territory, I guess.
Yeah.
So, hot topic question. What is your opinion on, this is a good thought process. What is your opinion on adding more apartments before you expand the road?
I mean, that's been the biggest thing that people complain about here is parking and infrastructure.
Mhm.
And so at a certain point in time, we're geographically, we're, a triangle. We've got the river, the ocean, there's not much left pretty much. And so I feel like most of the damage has been done. And the leadership that we've had, I've been, a big supporter of a lot of the current folks that are in office downtown, but they've also been there so long since I got here. A lot of them have been in office.
Right.
Yeah.
And these problems weren't necessarily here when I got here. In 96, this was was a farm. I used to drive my Volkswagen Beetle down Military Cutoff, and there was cows and horses.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm dating myself, but
I mean,
but
it was a
like-
3-lane road for all until I went to high school.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've seen all this develop, and a lot of the folks that are in office now were in office back then, and all they've done is develop. So it has to be done more responsibly, I think. I mean, we need a lot of help with infrastructure, but now you can't do it, dude. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't widen the roads when there's buildings or houses, or you can't just go and exercise eminent domain. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Right.
So
I was curious because I was out my side of town. They're adding apartment complexes. And I'm like, yes, I understand capitalism and the fact that we need money and we want to bring people here, which will then cause other businesses to show up here and like want to develop it. But I'm also like, can we not use a little money and just push it back a year and just make this road a little bit wider? Because a 2-lane road for all these people trying to get into GE is not the move.
Yeah.
Especially with more construction.
I think that we need some folks to propose something possibly, and I'm not saying like politically in the middle of the road, but figuratively or literally, really, between like, let's save all the trees and never develop anything and no new people can come here and let's lock Wilmington down and just keep it the way it is forever, versus we have to be pro-development. That's just the nature of the beast. But something in the middle that just shows responsible development. So restrictions that apply to developers, but it needs to be more specific to the site versus just a huge blanket area of like even something as broad as a zoning district, I think. So, and that's just been my experience seeing it. And so we just need someone development's probably one of the biggest hot ticket items in our area, I think. And so that needs to be a topic of conversation. And the folks that are running for office right now, it needs to be to the forefront, I think, of the discussion.
Yeah, because you have 2 different options, really, if you're going to look at the 2 separate sides. So if you say absolutely no more development, you're going to have like a Long Island where they're not doing a lot of development and the houses are just stupid expensive because everyone wants to move there and there's only so much supply for the demand. Or you flip the other way and go like the LA route where you just build on top of each other until you have absolute gridlock. So to your point, like you have to find a happy medium somewhere because you're going to achieve one or the other.
Yeah.
especially like you said, we're in a triangle. Like there's
mean,
only so much you can do.
It's even more important here because of our physical size is so
Right.
small. So Wilmington just needs to figure out what its identity is and then commit to that and get the whole county and city to buy into that. And then it's like, are we the next Hamptons or are we the next Myrtle Beach?
Right.
You guys pick, and whatever we want to do, let's just do it together, but let's all get aligned on the same page. And this is such a special place that it's like Charleston's probably a good role model for us. Savannah, those are good cities where you have like the historic riverfronts, and then you have the beaches on the barrier islands. But these are like, grown up things you never think about until you become a grown up.
Exactly.
And then you're like, traffic, and the taxes are going up and all this stuff, but it's real, man. And this affects us. So I sound like a politician, dude.
So when are you running?
No, oh man, I gotta go.
No, I laugh. So
This was not an announcement podcast.
No. I was thinking. So like my friend was driving through Cary and was like, he loves the visual of it because like they have a median down most of the space, and then they have trees on the other side, and I'm like, it reminds me of downtown. Like, yes, it sucked when they started putting medians in down like 3rd Street. You're like, oh, this is frustrating because it stops me from cutting across. And I'm like, but as an adult, I was like, well, also limits the amount of accidents we have of someone shooting across.
Totally.
Should they probably have like made the parking spots a little bit wider so I can inch out and see around that Suburban that's decided to park on this last spot? Yeah. But then I'm also like, that'd be nice to do on like all of the barrier streets that need to be expanded. Like make them 2 lanes, but put a median down the middle with some trees. And guess what? You replace some of the trees you got rid of, which can help a little bit. And then it turns it from looking like just an aisle of just openness to having a little bit more character.
Yeah. I think there has to be, I think what we just need is more vision and we need a longer view. So it's not just like, what's the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years? When you're master planning cities and layouts for urban environments, it's like 15, 20, 50-year visions that we need. And I just don't know that anyone's sat down and made the case to the public here that like this is what Wilmington needs to look like. It's just like, let's just get to the next election. And here's the thing that you guys are going to click on or talk about and just to get votes. And we just need someone with like a grander vision to preserve this place. I was in Landfall the other day just looking at a piece of real estate. That's one of the prettiest subdivisions ever. And it gets a lot of flack because it's like, where all the rich people live or whatever. But dude, that's the same landscape. It's you could throw a football into Landfall from where we are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So our whole city could look like that, It's just that's why I love it here. But I just want to protect it and preserve it.
Yeah. Kind of same line. I don't have a dog in the fight. I live in Brunswick County, but you can say the same thing out there too, is they're being very reactive over there right now. I'm like, we have so much green space right now. If you had the right leadership in there to be like, hey, this is what it's going to be like in 25 years.
Yeah.
Leland, me being optimistic and me being a Brunswick Countyan right now, we could take over Wilmington if you do it right and if Wilmington stays on the right track.
Yeah.
Or on this track.
On this track. Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, like you can't just keep being reactive to everything, just looking to the next election cycle. Like there has to be some type of grand vision. But I'm going to take our subject and flip it a little bit because I wanted to talk to you about this too.
Yeah.
So get off the politics of real estate and go to something a little bit more fun. You mentioned this before. So you have your own podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I've listened to a few episodes. I really like what you're doing on there. Tell us a little bit about your podcast and what you're trying to accomplish with it.
Thank you. So my podcast is called The Build Better Blueprint. And it was an exercise that I forced myself to do, like I said before, just to try something new, to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I launched it a year ago. I think my episodes are like in the mid 50s.
Yeah.
So my goal with it was really just to interview like high net worth individuals who have found success and find out what they did to get there. Because there's one podcast I discovered a couple years ago, and the guy's moniker is like getting the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it or whatever. And I just think that everyone's opportunity is there. If you're an able-bodied and you're in America today, you have opportunity in front of you, so much that you don't even know. And so many people that are not nearly as smart as you are wildly successful. All you got to do is you just need to know what play to run. So I just wanted to meet as many people as I could that were successful, find out what they did to find success. And success in family, success in business, success in faith, or whatever it is, success means something different to everybody. So the best part about it, and maybe you guys can speak to this, is the people that I've met through that have just some of them become very close friends.
Yeah.
Some of them I never speak to again, but I had a great just interaction with them. It's so cool, man. It's the neatest. I'm not even sure how to define it, but the fact that you can create this little conversation and put it out into the world, and then you go online to like look at your analytics, and there's like 20 people in Russia have taken the time and they know who I am. That's freaking weird, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm very like small, you know. I don't do a lot of publicity with it because I'm still figuring it out, because it's also another skill to learn.
Yeah.
And to put yourself out there to do that is also, as you guys know, you've done it very well. It's a challenge. So, but I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and we'll see. I told myself I'd do it for a year just so I didn't quit when it gets hard.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm probably going to revamp a little bit and start having some more guests, and I'd love to have you guys on. So that's the Build Better Blueprint on Apple and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you did it for very similar-ish reasons to like why we started. So one of the main questions I get when I talk about a podcast are like, oh, like I see like the views you get in your shorts and everything. Like, how much money do you make off of it? Like, I haven't monetized it. I don't want to monetize it. Like, I want to bring the people on that I want to bring on to build the network that I want to build.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing to me. So like, if I bring someone who I really like, but like an advertiser would be like, that person's gonna get like 3 views. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm going to talk to them because I want to talk to them. They have a story that they want to share with someone. I think there's value in their story that if one of our like couple thousand people listen to, if they get value from it, that's more. I mean, I have a good job. I don't need the podcast to make money. The relationships and networking is worth way more.
That's probably why you guys have done so well with it, because you don't need it. So it doesn't feel like needy, like you guys are here and everything's like brought to you by Glen Ick. You know, it's like it's like Rolex, the best way to tell time. It's like you guys are here because you want this, and then if a byproduct of that is a relationship or someone learns something, then that fills your cup. And so in this world today where everything is human capital, is like relationships are the most valuable thing you can have. So you might not need me today. I might not need you today, but we've built a friendship and a relationship, and down the road, if and when there comes a time, we have that. And that's more valuable than like an ad, I think. And if we don't ever need each other, and it doesn't need even to be like a usury concept, it's just, this is a great thing to do on a Sunday afternoon. So I think it's a great platform.
One of the things I think is a disservice that people talk about, not saying this is a bad thing, but the absolute focus on making sure your profession is something you're passionate about. Because I do think there could be something that you do to make the money that you're not passionate about, but you can then take the assets that you created there to put into some type of passion that's not generating you an income. I think that could be even more valuable in certain ways, because then you can take that passion and actually give of service to someone else. And I feel like that would serve your cup more, because you see all these people on Instagram and stuff now. They're like, oh, I became a whatever influencer or whatever coach, because they're taking something they're passionate about and trying to turn money into it. Yeah. And they already have like a good paying job doing something else. It's because everyone's telling you need to make money doing everything that you do. Like, if you're putting an hour into it, you better get a return on it. Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm getting a return off of this right now, but just not monetarily. Like, I enjoy sitting down and talking to you. Yeah. Like, that's a huge return for me. Yeah. And you being able to provide value to our listeners, that's a huge value for me.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to look at it too, because money is a tool, and money is good for the good it can do.
Right.
So the way you generate income, I talk to folks about real estate investing. We touch on this often because everyone's like, I want to quit my W-2 and just be a real estate investor. And it's like, your W-2 is the biggest tool you have to help you become a real estate investor. It's the income you're generating to then buy the assets and invest in, which over time will appreciate and provide the benefits of real estate investment. You don't want to lose that. If you have an engine that you have already control over that generates income, that allows you to do these other things. So yeah, it's very important.
Right. I'm going to monopolize it for a while. I'll let you go now.
Okay. So go back a little bit and come forward. With your podcast, how do you find these people? you said high net worth individuals. For someone like me, I hear the term, but I don't know like what that really means. Because to me, I'm like high net worth. I'm like, oh, well, they have to have this much money, or they have to do this, or they have to own that. And in general, I was looking at something the other day, and they were like, yeah, if you have over $500,000 like in assets, you're wealthier than like over like more than 95% of the population. So for those people, that's why I was curious, like, where do you find these people, or like, how do you like, oh, I heard them or I saw them, like, where do you find your guests?
So most of the guests from this past year have come from masterminds or coaching groups that I've been a part of. So one of the groups that I'm in is called Go Abundance. It's been just an exceptional experience. I joined it a year and a half ago, and they have a financial threshold. You have to be worth over $1 million just to join. Okay. And then once you're in the group, then there's levels. There's champions level, which is worth your $10 million or more net worth. So there's different tiers in the group, and everyone in there, the goal is to help collaborate, to help bring, everyone up, and help with the challenges of business and life and everything. So that group is really there's a lot of people in there that want to help you launch something new or support you in your endeavor. So and a lot of guys in that group have big podcasts, and it's not industry specific. So they're all different types of industries in there, but that's where most of those guys have come from.
Okay.
But I've met most of them in person, but it's cool because a lot of these guys, I mean, I've been to a couple of the conferences, and I'm sitting next to a guy who's, 10 years younger than me, and we're talking, and one of the exercises you go through, it's really big on like, you open the kimono and you go through your financial balance sheet and you talk through everything. You really, get vulnerable on a lot of levels, but that's how you grow. When you have someone who's up here and you're down here, and they can tell you, this is what you need to do to help to get here. It's really cool. And there's, one of the guys I was with he's worth like $40 million. And I'm like, dude, you look like a skater punk.
Right.
But I learned so much from that interaction at that event that being able to talk to these people is really valuable. So I want to be able to try and expose my audience to that, so they can see, dude, if this guy can do it, you can do it.
Yep.
And that's really the crux of why I wanted to start the podcast, was just to say, this is all here for the taking. You got to do the work,
Right.
Yes.
but choose your path, and you can make money so many different ways. It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
People make money doing a lot of weird things. So,
Yes.
and they make a lot of it. So if you want, and it's not all about money, but if you want to make money, find someone who's doing what you want to do, and get the playbook.
So then leads to, in general, what was the like catalyst that like got you into the point where you're like, I want to grow, and I can be vulnerable. So a lot of people like want to grow, but they're like, yeah, I don't want to go sit in a class next to somebody whose net worth is 4 times what I have or 10 times what I have. What was that thing that was like, I'm not the best in the room, I need to make some changes?
I'm not sure that there was a specific flashpoint where the script flipped, but man, I think it's just maybe over time, but you just have to be growing. Otherwise if stagnation is the end. So if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not being surrounded by people that are where you want to go, then that's stagnation, in my opinion. And so I've always been the kind of person who wants to learn and grow. I read a great quote yesterday. I forget who it was. It said, live like you're going to die tomorrow, but learn like you're going to live forever. Might have been Gandhi or something like that. But yeah, I just always want to continue to learn and be around people who are doing new things that excite me. So you just have to get over it, dude. At a certain point, the difference between 1 million and 10 million or 100 million, that's a huge spread.
Yep.
But these are just people like you or me. The amount of money, it's just a number in your bank account. In this town, you can live like a millionaire making 30 grand. So it's all in your head, man. It doesn't matter. So you just gotta, once you arrive at that point, it just gets easy. I've already made a fortune and lost a fortune. I went bankrupt in 2010. So I've been to the mountaintop and then been to the bottom of the barrel. And so after that, it's like, dude, none of this matters. So just do what you want to do. And if you want to build yourself back up, get around people who are already up there, and that's how you get there.
I was at a conference recently with people with a lot of money, and one of my favorite quotes, and I've heard it elsewhere, but hearing it from him, like, and actually hearing his journey, because like when I sat down and had an opportunity to talk to this guy, I was like, I'm gonna make this my own personal podcast right here. And I just like
Yeah.
came out with all the questions.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that he said was, the hardest million to make is the first million.
Mhm.
He goes, because then to double that, you already know how to make a million. So you just make the next two.
Yeah.
He goes, then now you have two, it's easy to make the next four. And then he goes, and then it just starts compounding over that. And then you start having the capital to invest in other things that you're passionate about. Maybe there's a return on it, maybe there's not. He's like, and then you can actually start hanging out like with you, so the mastermind type of things.
Yeah.
Like you start attracting the same people, and then other opportunities start to kind of emerge and everything. So it was just really interesting hearing how the whole growth process happened. And he grew up from not a lot of money as well too, and found a job that he really liked and was able to move up the ranks and talk to the right people, ask the right questions.
Mhm.
And that's kind of basically what got him to the point that he got. And one of the main reasons why I started this podcast was to have the conversations with people on many other success podcasts.
Yeah.
So I always use the Jay-Z example. He was like, oh yeah, I started out like cleaning toilets and stuff. And it was like, then I had opportunity to record this one time. And then like one thing led to another. And now I'm Jay-Z and I have like hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm like, okay, what are those middle steps?
Yeah. But what happened
Like,
between
yeah,
there?
that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And so the more and more I talk to these people, it's just the passion for growth and willing to ask questions and the willingness to fail and just
Yeah.
putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That was the only part that was missing that I was like so direly trying to find.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just finding the opportunity and willing to fail to find that opportunity.
Dude, I mean, that's so well said. You know, winners lose more than losers do. That's
Mhm.
just the truth. You don't see that until you see them when they're successful and they're on the top, and you don't realize the path they had to forge to get there.
Right.
And maybe it started this way and ended up here too. You know, you never know where, but just you're always one relationship away from a
Right.
really major pivot in your life that could be really good or really bad.
Right.
So, but you won't know. And I guess you distill it down. You just have to put yourself out there and not take yourself so seriously and be like, dude, we're just three guys here shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
But this relationship could materialize into something really big someday. That'd be awesome. If not, it's great right now.
Right.
And it just don't take it so seriously, man. Yeah, that's my thought.
That's what I tell Chris all the time.
Don't take it so seriously.
Well, not just that, but like anything could come from anywhere.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And like just taking an opportunity, because one of his things like, oh, I don't have the money to do that. And me being in the business that I am, I'm like, money is everywhere, dude.
Dude, yes.
Yes.
That's the truth. And some people have way more than you ever even thought. But if you want to get rich, hang out with rich people.
yeah.
You want to become a good pickleball player, hang out with pickleball players. You want to be a good surfer, hang out with surfers. But you can't sit home and say, I want to be a good surfer, but never go to the beach or never
Right.
hang out at the surf shop, whatever. You just got to, that proximity principle is so real, man. So you
Yes.
just get in the room with people that are living your dreams, and then it happens. And again, you got to put in the work. But,
Right.
and success doesn't reward shy people. You got to put yourself out there.
Mhm.
But you do it, man. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's been the running joke because I've had people come up to me outside of like out off the podcast and be like, so when are you open up your bottle shop? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not actually opening a bottle shop.
Yeah.
I have to, like we said, you have to have a passion. Like you have to have something that you want to work towards. You still got to have a 9 to 5. And like a bottle shop, I think is a great idea. Have I written it out and have a plan to like take to somebody? No, it's just Chris concepts. Like I have a lot of them and 92% of them are not going to come to fruition. But Tyler is always here to hype me up and like, talk to this person. Go ask that guy. They'll help you out. And I'm like,
That's
I will.
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's the value of that, though. You got to have a coach.
yes.
You got to have a mentor or a friend. If he's not pushing you, then if you really want to have a bottle shop, you could have a bottle shop.
Yes.
And maybe when that day comes, it's because Tyler kept kicking your ass saying, dude, what are you doing? Get your shit together. Get this bottle
Oh,
shop going."
100%.
But if he's not there to do that, then you're just gonna go on your merry way and just have a good idea. We all do that. We're all guilty of that. It's like, oh, I'd love to have that car. I'd love to do this. I'd love to do this one day. But you gotta confess and profess to the world what you want. And then just the fact that random people come and say that to you, man, that's accountability.
Yeah.
And accountability is what gets things done. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you. It's always it's fun when like someone who I know has like taken that jump and that leap to do something different is like, you can do it. It'll happen if you want it to.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing, man. Like, it's why I've said it a couple times now. Don't take everything so seriously because, it could all end in a second,
Mhm.
right? Without being morbid. But the reality you make is the reality that you want and vice versa. So
You can do it.
you have more control than you think. I'll
I
kind of
gotcha.
leave it at that.
I like it. So, one of my final questions is super. I don't know if we've added it since you were on, but still, I'm going to ask because you've done a lot in life. You've done a lot. You've failed sometimes. You've done even more. What does success look like to you?
Man, success for me, it's funny you said that. I said this to my wife yesterday because we were out running errands. We drove from our house right next door up to Porter's Neck, out to Castle Hayne, down to Monkey Junction, back around. We did like the full circle of Wilmington and we made what feels like 1,000 stops. But
Yeah.
being able to, I think, I'm reading a book right now. I'm almost done with it called The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. It goes through and talks about physical wealth, mental wealth, financial wealth, spiritual wealth, a lot of really kind of deep concepts, but it's an easy read. But just having the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want is success. And so to go to all these little places and run into Lowe's and buy whatever you want and not have to get out the checkbook and balance it because we can afford it, because we're blessed, because we work hard for that. That's amazing. To be able to be in the car with my 2 kids and my wife, to be married, someone wanted to marry me, that's freaking success, To have 2 healthy, beautiful kids, that's success. And then to like ride by the beach and be living where we are. I mean, I'm a successful guy without bragging because I'm healthy. I live in Wilmington. I'm married. I'm blessed. My parents live a mile away. And so success means different things to different people, but that's what success is to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. So then my second to last, silly but legit question. Because you were successful and you can like drive around town, do silly stuff, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Mostly because you got a Starbucks over here. What is your favorite coffee joint in town?
Dude. Well, I don't want to sound like a schmuck. I go to Starbucks a lot, man. And supporting the man is not usually my thing, but it's very convenient. I went Drift in Porter's Neck is amazing. That's a beautiful spot. And I didn't realize those guys have 9 stores now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
an
that's not
amazing
already.
like local success story. I kind of like rotate through coffee shops. I love Blue Cup. I love Azalea Station. Obviously, I love the Cargo District, so I'm there all the
Right.
time. The Folkestone Slow Bar is in my building, the Design Works. They have a
yeah.
coffee kiosk there. The guy who runs that is super cool. They make great coffee. I'm a generalist when it comes to coffee.
Okay.
I don't have a favorite. If it's there when I need it, I gotta have it. So I'm gonna stay. I do sound like a politician. I'm staying on this one. I'm not running for office.
No,
It's hard for me too, though, especially there's so many great spots that I'm in different parts of the town. So
Yeah.
like I have a spot I can go to anywhere and I'm happy with it. And then
Yeah.
also each one does something really well that's different that I enjoy. So like if there's like a latte that I want, like a specific latte. So like Azalea Station and Blue Cup, there's a couple lattes that are just amazing that no one can touch if they try to like replicate it.
Yeah.
Like, so I go there for those specific ones. If I just need something quick, to your point, Starbucks is a third of a mile that way. I walked it out.
Yeah.
So,
It's
so
just-
I pick it up and
It's
that's
whatever,
it.
when you have the itch, whoever will scratch it.
Exactly.
Different strokes. But yeah. So what's yours? I mean, are you a diehard individual one?
I don't drink
So
coffee.
he doesn't drink coffee at all. He's just trying to stir the pot.
If someone, it's been a running joke at work because people are like, "Oh, hey, we're doing a coffee run. You want anything?" And I'm like, "I don't drink coffee."
Yeah.
And so I look
Cake
like
pop.
a douche because I'm like, I'm too good for. I'm like, I just don't drink coffee. I will literally. I had one yesterday, and because I don't drink it, the caffeine hits me so much harder.
Oh, it's gotta be nice.
And so I'm just like
I'm
jittery,
Six
and
nights.
people are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Your eyes twitching. I'm like, I need water to calm down the caffeine. So yeah, I'll drink matcha every once in a while. I will say, Azalea Station, I typically get a matcha there whenever I'm getting a haircut from Complex Cuts. Josh, shout out.
Oh yeah.
Or still Sundial. That matcha we had like a year ago is still on my mind. So
Grew
yeah,
up in Surf City.
Oh yeah. I got to give a shout out. Actually, Will Chacon, Luna Cafe.
Yeah,
Will is the hardest working man in showbiz.
that's true.
Best drummer in the Southeast, hands down. But his coffee shop is amazing. And whenever I'm down in the Castle Street Antique District, I go there. I just drink black coffee though, so I'm not like I don't need anything beyond that. This is kind of a one-off. It's not probably not in the shot, is it? I'm gonna cover it with my foot. But yeah, I would say if I have to pick a favorite, because I love Will to death and his coffee is amazing. He roasted himself just up the street. He's got a little roasting station. So Luna Cafe on Castle Street.
Okay.
That's my final answer.
Down for it. Tyler.
He has a good shop too. I used to go there a lot when I was down on Castle Street more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree he's good too.
Okay.
But I went to Hidden Grounds for the first time in a while just because it didn't have a line when I drove by, and I was
Is
like,
it
I'll pick
worth
that up.
The
Yeah.
hype.
Again, like it comes down to like if there's a specific latte that I really like there, I'll pick it up. A new one that just opened up that I'm just gonna forget. Calico, right down the road from us here in Landfall Shopping Center.
Oh yeah, I saw an ad for that.
Yeah, they have some good iced lattes. If you want to go to iced latte,
Okay.
they got some really good stuff down there too.
Word.
So yeah. So if there's anything specific, let me know. I'll tell you the best.
I
shop
will
to
shout
get.
out Bevy. Bevy
Oh,
Mart.
yeah.
We were talking.
They
about
do
that.
some really good. I had a matcha. I had something from them, like some sort of matcha, cold foam, coconut milk. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I understand why people get this every single day.
They've got a sleeper who owns the place. That's why.
Yes.
Cheeto from Bespoke. He's
Yes.
the coffee guru. So
Yeah.
for him to slide in and run it under the guise of a quickie mart is
Yeah.
very smooth.
They have a functional latte there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Uh-huh.
So and it doesn't give you like the super hype like caffeine spike just
Yeah.
because of the way they make it. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's another business where, in my head, when you say, oh, you can open a bottle shop, and you're like, you got to be the only person running it. But if you have people, there's not just one person running Bevy. Like there's a group of people
Oh,
that
yeah.
work together
Mhm.
that got it up and running. So shout out Bevy Mart.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Everyone that works there is super nice too. Like great people there.
They've got it dialed in for
Yeah.
sure.
good. So do you want to shout anything out? We're at the end now.
Man, I would like to thank you guys for having me. This is
course.
always a great conversation and always great whiskey. Probably gonna have one more little sip before I
Nice.
slide
Oh,
over.
right
It
ahead.
is Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A little bit of the sacrament on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
No, but I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to be here. I have Aloha Wilmington Real Estate is my day job, and then 9 to 5. If you guys have any needs with real estate, commercial, residential, and commercial residential property management as well, love the opportunity to meet with you, chat with you, look at your portfolio, and see how we can help you, provide value. I just want to come from contributions. Anything I can do for anybody real estate related, or if you want to talk about trees in the city of Wilmington, give me a call.
An expert now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a blast. We'll catch you in the next one, but don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, and in the comments, let us know, do you have a favorite tree in Wilmington? Like, it's been interesting because, like, we're in Live Oak area. Like, everyone's known for live oaks.
Mhm.
I didn't know Live Oak was a thing. I thought we were just a pine city, to be completely honest.
What's the thing?
So, yeah, let me know your favorite tree. We'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers. It does if you hit that.